welcome back to Multipurpose A5 Landscape Brochure template. My name is Maria and I'll be leading you through this tutorial. This is Chapter 2, Editing the File in Adobe InDesign. Okay, so now once we have our Adobe InDesign open, we can open the file, going through File, Open. And since I already did this, I'm gonna just select, let's say, the blue version, opening it up. Now it is going to ask you whether or not you want to update the links. Go here and press Update Links. Once all the links have been updated, it will be opened up. Okay, so let's start with the basic tools we need in order to start working with the file. You will need to have pages, links, layers, swatches, character panel, and preferably paragraph panel opened up in order to manipulate and edit this template. In order to do that, let's start with pages panel. If you don't have them already open, you will go to Window, Pages, or keyboard shortcut F12. Layers panel, Window, Layers, or keyboard shortcut F7. Links panel, to open up the links panel, you go to Window, Links, or keyboard shortcut Shift Control D. To open up the swatches panel, go to Window, Color, Swatches. If you want to use gradients in your design, then select the gradient and open them up too. And finally, to open up the characters panel, we will go to Window, Type and Tables, and open up the character. Once we have everything open up, let's start with editing. As you can see on the master page, before we start that, you see this marks and info layer. It is basically all the technical information you need to know about the printing of your design, where the bleed lines will be, where is the safe area of the text, the size of the print, how many folds it has, etc., etc. This layer has been set not to print, so when you're printing or exporting, even if you leave it turned on, it will not export and it will not print. But in order to work with it, let's just, for the moment, let's just turn it off. Now, as you can see on the master pages, we have this basic shape design, and here is where the page number and the information of the company or whatever you want in your footer of brochure has been set up. Now the way this works is, let's go to, for instance, page 4. In the template, on the pages, it will translate from page B to number of the page, and you can have company name or whatever you want. So let's start with editing these. We're gonna edit. All you have to do is just edit the company name, and let's say put your own name. Okay, and we're gonna do the same thing on the other master page. So remember, if you want page numbers on your template, don't change this. You just change the company name. Okay, and that will be it. Of course, you can change, for instance, let's say we want this to be the divider between our company name and our page number. Okay, so once we took care of that, that's the only thing that has been placed on the master pages. Let's start with editing colors. Editing colors in Adobe Illustrator is quite fast, and since this is a fairly simple color scheme, all you have to do is double click on the color here we have the cyan, and let's say we want to change the entire color scheme. We're going to change it to magenta, and here you go. It's been changed. It's a quite simple change, and all the graphics, and if there was any text in that color scheme, has been changed immediately. So that's how you basically change your color scheme. If you want to have a little bit different color scheme, let's say you want to change certain elements, what I recommend to do is, first of all, create your own swatch. We're going to do that like double clicking on the fill color. We make our own color, add CMYK swatch, and now I'm just going to select these two, change them. So we have a slight variation, and now if I want to change this from magenta back, let's say, to the cyan, I don't have to select these elements any longer. All I have to do is now just select the swatch, and here we go. That's it when it comes to the color editing. It's quite fast and simple, and you really don't have to waste a lot of time on it. Now let's talk a little bit about text editing. To edit the text in the template, all you have to do, select the text, let's say here, because it's not 2014 anymore, double click on it and then type in your own text, or you can select type tool, and once you hover over the editable text, as you can see, text icon is changing when you hover over the editable text. You click on it, and let's just put in 2015. Once you've done that, if you want to change the style, whether or not it's all caps, small caps, or stuff like that, you keep the text selected and then you make those changes. But general changes of the text can be done through the character panel. From here you can change the font. Let's put something like this. You can change the style of the font. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have many styles, but this one does. So you can change it to regular, italic, bold italic, and so on. You can change the size, spacing. You can change the spacing between the letters, and you can change the rotation, etc., etc. So that's how you change the text. And one more thing, if you want to change the alignment of the text, you select the text and then change the alignment through the text panel up here. And if you want to change the positioning of the paragraph in the text, you can change it from here. So you can make it to be on top, in the center, on the bottom, and that's it. Now all you have to do is copy and paste your own text, and that's it. It will take you probably less than 15 to 20 minutes to do all the necessary changes on this template. And finally, let's talk a little bit about image editing, and let's go back to the dummy images folder. Okay, like I've mentioned in the previous chapter, there are several ways of changing the images in the template. Dummy images folder is important because all of these images have been created in preferable size and shape of the images that are going to be used in the template. Now let's start with the most used way of changing the images. Let's go to the links links. Once you select the image you want to change, let me select it. Once you see this little hand, you press on it, and you can go Control D on your keyboard shortcut, or you can go through the File, place folder, and let me choose this image. And as you can see, it will be placed within the container, and it's been changed in the links panel. Now you can manually size, change position of the image, etc., or you can just go to fit the image to the container and then just resize it for a second, pull it down, and that will it. Now you can do that for each image in the template, or if you already know where the images go, you can go to the links panel, select the image you want to change, right click, relink, and let me select, for instance, I'm gonna change it to white, and here you go. Your images have been changed. Now let me just go back so I can just delete that. Now the other way of changing your images is to open the image in Adobe Photoshop, and we're gonna open the same image, image 2, and what I'm gonna do is place let me find the one I want to place. Let's say I want to place this one. I'm going to place the image I want. I'm going to scale it. I can also position it a little bit better. Okay? And all that's left to do is merge these two layers. I hope you can see this. You select the top layer, go to merge down, or simply go to Control E on your keyboard shortcut. You save the image, and once you have saved it within the same dummy folder images, when you go back to Adobe InDesign, you'll see the change notification here. You still don't see the new image in here. All you have to do is just double click on this yellow triangle, which basically indicates that image has been changed. Double click on it, and now you have your new image imported. Now there are two ways of sending this file to your printer services. The first one is creating the PDF compatible print file, and the other way is packaging the InDesign file and sending it with all the links, the InDesign file itself, and the fonts that have been used in this instance. Now we're going to go through several steps. The first step you'll unfortunately have to repeat when it comes to every template. But when it comes to transparency, flattener presets, and print presets, you're going to have to just create this once, and we're going to go through the creation process step by step. So first of all, let's go to the layers panel. First thing we need to do is create a layer, and we're going to name it transparency. And you're going to see why this is important in a minute. You make sure this layer is bottomless layer, so whatever goes on this layer will be behind all the design. Now let's go back to the pages. We go to the master page and select the shape tool and just create the fill. Okay? It doesn't matter what color it is, it doesn't matter how big it is, you don't have to bother about shaping and position. Just make sure it goes around the entire template, the entire master page, including all the bleeds and stuff like that. And then we go to the right click, effects, transparency, and we're just going to put the opacity to 0. Click OK. Then we're going to go back to another master page. You have to do this on all the pages. Again, just make sure the shape goes all around the pages. Right click, effects, transparency, and pull the opacity to 0. Okay, and now we go back to the layers panel for a second and just lock this layer so we don't move it on accident. Now we can go to our pages. Okay, and first thing we need to do is create transparency flattener preset. Choose high resolution preset and then create new. Let's name this smart print. We need to make sure that this balance is at 100% vectors, 1200 ppi line art and text resolution, 300 ppi gradient and mesh resolution. Check convert all text to outlines and check convert all strokes to outlines. Press OK, and now you have a new preset ready. Okay. Now the next thing we need to do is create a Adobe PDF preset. We're gonna go to File, Adobe PDF Presets, Define. We're gonna choose Press Quality and then press New. Let's name this Print Preset. Okay. Make sure it's PDFX 2001. Select that one. Go to compression. We're going to leave this downsampling to 300 pixels per inch for images about 400 pixels per inch. You won't need a higher resolution than 300 ppi in printing, but what I like to do is put the compression to none, because I don't want any chance of any JPEG artifacts in my images. Marks and bleeds, make sure you check this use document bleed settings. I usually leave printer marks alone, because that's the one thing that depending on the way the knife works, the way it's printed, the type of the print, sometimes crop marks can go a little bit closer to the design, sometimes they need to go a little bit further from the design, and this is something that your printer services will turn on themselves and create these crop marks once they have the file. I'm gonna choose convert to destination. This is working CMYK-US. This is the type of what I'm working on. Output intent profile name is going to be the same. And finally, I'm going to use this transparency flattener that we have just created, Smart Print. And that's it. We have our preset ready. Okay, and done. All we have to do now is actually export this document. We go to File, Export. We're gonna name it Print. Click Save, and then just close this one. Print preset. Okay. Now we have set up everything. You can go and see that we have to just save all the necessary information in the preset, so we don't have to go back and do it all over again. The only thing we have to do is make sure we put those layers behind on the transparency level. Here's a little bit indicator of background tasks. Okay, now our file has been saved. Let's open it up. And as you can see, all the fonts have been converted, so there won't be any mistake. And then if you look at the size, you see it's been saved with the bleed settings. So let me just put it this way. Okay, now you see it. So now once the printing services start creating the mesh files and everything they need to, they're going to be able to put their own bleeds and place them in appropriate places. Okay, that's the first way of saving the file for print. You can just save that file. As you can see, it's about 38 megabytes, so it's not that big. The second way of saving this and sending it to print is through packaging the file. Now, usually I use this method if there are going to be more changes in the file, or this file is going to be printed throughout the season, and let's say we're going to have a summer catalog or a winter catalog, and we're not going to be changing anything else but the name and smaller changes. So we don't have to send the file over and over again. We go to package. We make sure all the fonts are not protected so we can save them. Links and images, colors and inks. Okay, everything is okay. So we press package, save it. Yeah, we're gonna save it. And when it comes to the file name, I make sure whatever you call it, and it's usually called instructions, to put the .txt behind it because it's just going to be a blank file. Here you can put your contact, company, address, phone number, email, and the instructions, short instructions for the print. Let's say printing 200 pieces. 4 variations. We want it to go on digital, and so on and so on. So when we press continue, we will be greeted with the next folder. It's basically the name of the file plus the addition of the folder. We need to check copy fonts, copy link graphics, and update graphic links and packages. Click package. Okay, and here's one thing that you have to have in mind. Why I didn't tell you this while we were looking at fonts. You see here status is incomplete. That means that I don't actually have the fonts installed on my machine, but what I do have is they're running through a phone program, so I don't have to have all the fonts installed. What that is going to do is it treats them like the fonts are not there. So if you want to do this, make sure to install the fonts on your machine and then send the package. You're going to see that I'm going to have these two saved and the rest of them will not be. Okay, so let's open up that folder, and in the folder you'll get the inDesign file, you get the instructions. This is where we put special instructions in my notes. We get links, and we get, as you can see, only these two document fonts, and that is because these two have been actually installed on my hard drive. The others have not. This is one thing you have to consider in sending inDesign file in this manner. Make sure you first install your fonts and then create a package, or you can just manually place them in. Okay, so that's it when it comes to editing the file in Adobe inDesign. I hope you learned something in this tutorial, and I'll see you soon in the next tutorial. Bye!